Our top story now. It's been confirmed to eNCA that the International Relations Department has been asked to seek clarity into reports of the missing Gaddafi millions. And for more on this particular story, I'm joined by international relations expert, that's Charles Sinkala, and he joins us via Skype. Mr. Sinkala, thank you very much for your time. Firstly, let's deal with how seriously the South African government should be taking this matter, because the Minister of International Relations quoted on the one hand as dismissing this as mere rumor, but now the presidency coming on board to say you actually need to seek clarity in as far as where these monies are concerned, or, you know, what's going on here?
Yes, good morning to your viewers, and thank you very much for having me. Look, because of the bilateral relationship we have with Libya, I think the minister was trying to accumulate more information regarding the same. I think it could have been new to her. But one thing we must realize that this is not the first time the Libyan government have asked South Africa to investigate these rumors which have been going on for quite some time. You might be remembering very well that even at that time, Pravin Gordhan was a Minister of Finance. He was asked to facilitate the repatriation of about $10 billion to Libya. So this is not a new information. It's actually been going on well. Also, President Cyril Ramaphosa was in Eswatini in Swaziland. Also, they had some talks with the king there, you know, regarding the same millions which has been stashed not only in South Africa but other parts of the world.
Mr. Sinkala, talk to us about your assessment of this matter between King Mswati and the former president Jacob Zuma, and then, of course, bring into the picture later the current president Cyril Ramaphosa. So at first, Ramaphosa goes to Swaziland. March the 3rd, the king says, I know nothing about this. But then later, he comes back to say, hey, listen, I actually now know about the possible whereabouts of this money. And then there's talk of the deputy governor in Swaziland who may have knowledge of this money. I guess what I'm trying to ask you here is the relationship between former President Zuma and the King of Swaziland, what that relationship is exactly.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. You know, first, before we talk about the relationship, we're talking about the resources of the country, which I believe, I do not want to say Colonel Gaddafi had stashed the cash across the country or across the world to enrich himself. You remember very well that Colonel Gaddafi, leading to his outset from power, you know, he had a lot of threats, and all his banks were frozen and all that. He was trying to protect the sovereignty stashed outside the country, you know, by speaking to the world leaders, you know, to safeguard these resources. We might believe that, you know, part of his team, you know, who knew about where these funds were, you know, they were sort of by other intelligence. But coming back to the meetings with King Mswati and President Zuma, they have been talking about these talks on how to return back those funds. Some of them there is in Eswatini, Swaziland, rather. But you must understand that the institutions, according to the Financial Act in South Africa, had distanced themselves to holding these funds because they had not very clear source, and the source of funds were not very clear. You know, hence at one time 800 million rand was withdrawn from Standard Bank. You know, I believe it has been preserved in cash form in between South Africa and Swaziland. And, you know, it's very difficult to keep a relationship where cash is involved, as there is no proper records on how, where, and where this cash is. You know, as we're speaking now, because of it has become public on public eye, you know, the funds are being moved. So it's very difficult even that if the Libyan government will even take part of the money to their country.
It's very interesting indeed. Mr. Sinkala, there's another issue here I want to pick your brains on, and it has to do with the wife of South Africa's Energy Minister, Jeff Radebe, her wife, Bridget Radebe. In essence, she's being accused, according to reports from Botswana, she's being accused of trying to effect regime change in Botswana. Are you aware of this, and what's your sense of the goings-on here?
Yeah, Bridget has got relations in Botswana. That's true. I mean, the family has got relations not only in Botswana but Swaziland and other parts of Africa. Because of the Bantu migration and Bantu traveling and settlement in different parts. But this is a different case. Where now she's using the power she has, been linked to the president here in South Africa, and having that family tree down in Botswana. So it's quite unfortunate that the politics has to be taken to that step, to influence regime change. And Botswanan people, the Batsutus, are bitterly complaining about this, and we hope this can be addressed in a bilateral and international relations platform, so that the people of Botswana can have their own time to choose their leaders. It's not wise to have another country influencing the regime change. Botswana has been at peace for a very long time, and they had a very good relationship with South Africa, which they enjoy up to this time. But having a wife to the minister, taking the power, to influence the regime change, I think it's unfair to the Basotho people. I think if Mrs. Bridget Radebe, if she's doing that, she must apologize to both the country, South Africa, and as well as Botswana.
All right. Thank you very much for your insights there. That's Mr. Charles Sinkala. He is an international relations expert.